So Jennifer Hudson is hauling Tiffany Haddish for a field since she is persuaded that Tiffany is attempting to get back with Normal since Tiffany can't quit discussing him. And surprisingly, uncovered that she's actually open to wedding Normal. If you have any desire to wed me, he can give me an apartment complex. You don't need a ring, you needed an ideal complex. I'd give you a duplex. Well, Miss Jennifer Hudson hasn't arrived for Tiffany discussing her man her me. And that's what her men like, and she is sending an unmistakable message to Tiffany to avoid her men. Or, more than likely, is this why Tiffany has been concealing Jennifer via virtual entertainment young lady? He never gave me no damn studs, he presumably gave us to Jennifer. So it seems to be rapper Normal is a high piece of cake. Since he has the chicks battling all over him, his ongoing sweetheart Jennifer Hudson is persuaded that his ex Tiffany Haddish is attempting to put the continues on him and attempting to get back with him. And Jennifer isn't going to let that slide since she put Tiffany on impact and uncovered her for taking care of business stealer. Yet presently, to be reasonable for Jennifer, it's not hard to see the reason why she would feel the sort of way about Tiffany purportedly putting the continues on her man. Since Normal and Tiffany have a really fascinating origin story, you see there used to be a thing. And they dated for about a year prior to they tapped out. They began dating at some point in 2020. And they significantly together during the lockdown. And they chose to unveil their relationship during an Instagram live meeting with Gabriel Association. And Dwayne Swim, yes, that was charming, and individuals couldn't quit discussing how they made such an extraordinary couple. Likewise, there were high expectations that Tiffany would be the lady to at long last offer remark. See about getting hitched in light of the fact that they appear to be only that ideal together. However, at that point, there's likewise the way that Normal had uncovered that he had gone to treatment for his connection issues, and that he was at last prepared to settle down and get hitched to the ideal lady. You need to be a spouse. One day you have a fairly popular relationship mentor, gracious better believe it. Definitely that yesa Michelle Obama. She has most certainly helped talk me through specific snapshots of connections we had discussions. And she has provided me with a ton of shrewdness. Well, something extraordinary that she told me as I was going through this excursion was that you need to comprehend you won't get anyone that is amazing on the grounds that you're flawed. Comprehend to the point that there's a few certain things that you will splitting the difference and picking that accomplice yet lengthy, as long as the guiding principle, the qualities that are generally vital to you, that individual you realize separates on that rundown. Then you great. She offered you some great guidance there, that is some great insight. He had me conceded that he was burnt out on void connections. So when he began dating Tiffany, there were a few high expectations that they planned to wind up wedded, yet it wasn't some time before clearly remark was not precisely over his connection issues. Like he guaranteed an individuals before long began to understand that Tiffany might have cherished him far more than he adored her. Currently, I won't say that he wasn't into her by any means, yet appears as though she was more put resources into the relationship than he was. For instance, Tiffany was so amped up for her 41st birthday and couldn't quit discussing it in a meeting. She uncovered that she believed that Normal should accomplish something uniquely amazing for her birthday. She said, I'm simply trusting me and my men, we going warm air swelling, and have us a decent dinner. That is what I like to do on my 39th birthday celebration. I become inebriated with my grandmother, never did that. And on my 40th birthday celebration, I had a terrible mitzvah. And that was really fun. This birthday 41, I need to go up in a sightseeing balloon. Well, it seemed like Normal didn't take all that much thought into really trying into things, and Tiffany didn't get her sightseeing balloon ride. He got her blossoms, yet that was only an absolute minimum. And as per insiders, that is when Tiffany began giving the relationship a side eye and contemplated whether he was losing interest in her. Yet incidentally, she was on the whole correct to stress, since he was losing interest, yet Tiffany chose to attempt to make things work. There were several minor issues between them, Yet the greatest show came when Tiffany began discussing marriage and recommendations and stuff like that, and Listen Normal promptly changed around on her. Tiffany had a meeting where she said that she maintained that him should propose to her with an apartment complex. And not a ring to wed me, he can give me an apartment complex. Well, not in the least did Normal not propose to her inside an apartment complex, yet he didn't propose to her by any means. And when the paparazzi inquired as to whether he had any designs to propose to her, he essentially indicated that he was there for a great time frame. Yet not quite a while. It was great for myself, and the woman you know right now. All I need is satisfaction, great times, tranquility on earth. No doubt clarified that he wouldn't propose to Tiffany. And I surmise she received the message plainly in light of the fact that they wound up separating 2 or after 3 months. Obviously, fans were considering what befell them and how things ended up so wrongly between them on the grounds that many individuals were pulling for them. Karma was the first to address the relationship, and they gave the typical Hollywood BS excuse of how the two of them had occupied timetables and how they couldn't shuffle their professions with the relationship, and yakety yak. He and I got back moving. It truly didn't consider us to invest as much time and set as much focus on our relationship. I don't think the affection truly scattered. I think it was very much like we weren't taking care of a relationship well. Miss Tiffany was not going to let come and pull off that falsehood, and she told her own side of the story. She said he may be the kind of individual that never truly settles down with someone. Perhaps he resembles you realize, like a honeybee going from one plume to another to bloom. I don't realize I wish him only delight and bliss indeed. The relationship didn't precisely finish strong by any means. Yet despite the fact that it has been around a long time since they separated, Tiffany actually appears to have the hotspur Normal. Yet this doesn't agree with his new boo, Jennifer Hudson. Normal and Jennifer have been connected for a very long time at this point, and it seems like the relationship is just getting more grounded continuously. Normal and Jennifer have known one another for quite a long time since they run in comparative circles in Hollywood. Yet they got truly close last year when the two of them dealt with the film. An inside source uncovered that they've known one another for a really long time. Things took a heartfelt turn while they were recording in Philadelphia over the late spring. When the day shoot wrapped, they'd constantly find their approach to one another's side. Now the two of them attempted to deny their relationship right away, yet we got affirmation of their sentiment when he flew the entire way to London to show support for her. Melodic, a bizarre circle. As per an insider, there has been hypothesis for a really long time in regards to whether they are together, yet the reality they ventured out the entire way to London together shows they're a lot of a thing. They showed up to the show separately to keep away from any disturbance, yet away from inquisitive eyes. They were a lot of in one another's organization. So like I said, Tiffany actually really wants Normal, so she hadn't arrived for this new relationship. She hasn't even been attempting to conceal it, since she has been tossing uber conceal at Jennifer, for instance. When a fan guaranteed that they gave Normal a couple of hoops to give Tiffany, this is what she said: "Young lady, he never gave me no damn a few studs. He most likely gave us the rec center." Tiffany isn't finished discussing the relationship in light of the fact that in another meeting that she did with the Washington Post, she raised her relationship with Normal once more. And from things that she said, individuals are currently persuaded that she actually needs him. She said it was the best, the funnest relationship I at any point had. It's where I had a real sense of security within every one of the connections I've at any point had. The separation wasn't shared. It was more him saying, "I think this relationship has run its course." And I resembled Oak, like you going to be a 50-year-old single man. Oak. As per an insider, Jennifer Hudson finds it unusual how Tiffany began discussing her and remarked separation once he opened up to the world about Jennifer. The insider guarantees that Jennifer is persuaded that Tiffany needs to get down with Normal, despite the fact that he's seeing someone. Insider guaranteed that Jennifer wouldn't rule it out for Tiffany to put moves phenomenal and attempt to lay down with him. The insider likewise asserted that Jennifer made it clear to Normal that he is to totally remove Tiffany and have no correspondence with her going ahead. Now individuals are Jennifer's ally here, and they blame Tiffany for moving peculiar, saying Tiffany simply has to deal with it and find somebody that genuinely needs her, show that she isn't desirous, and hope everything works out for Normal. I love you, Tiffany, yet don't toss skeptic energies. I recollect Tiffany was raising each opportunity she needed to put out. She needed coming. Tiffany was enamored with Normal before they were together, and I can't really accept that Tiffany is giving this any energy, sort of frustrated in her. So Jennifer is really persuaded that the explanation Tiffany continues to raise the separation is that she was returning. Yet do all of you accept this? Do you believe that Tiffany's attempting to grab remark? Or do you imagine that Jennifer is being unreliable? Drop your considerations and remarks underneath, and afterward look at this next video, okay?